Only a handful of this model's parameters fire on any given token, yet it holds its own against open models more than 10 times its size. Let's take a real look. This is Laguna S 2.1 from a lab called Poolside. It's an open weight coding model. You can download the weights and run it yourself. Here's the plan. What it is, the trick that makes it small, the benchmarks kept honest, and who it's actually for. The headline, 118 billion parameter mixture of experts model, but only about 8 billion run per token. 1 million tokens of context, and open weights. Poolside trained it fast. Pre-training started in late May, and under 9 weeks later, on 4,000 H200 GPUs, it launched in July. And it's genuinely open. The weights are on Hugging Face under the OpenMDW license, with day one support in Ollama, VLLM, and the OpenCode agent. First, the trick that makes a 118 billion model fit on hardware you can actually own. It's a mixture of experts, 256 specialists, but each token weighs only about 10. So just 8 billion parameters actually do the work. At full precision, the weights are about 236 gigabytes. Quantized down to 4-bit, it shrinks roughly 4 times, enough to run on a single high-end GPU. It also holds 1 million tokens of context, room for a whole codebase in mind at once, in both its thinking and its faster modes. Added up, and a serious coding model runs on one machine you own, a DGX Spark or a single RTX 3090 class card with no API bill. So it's small and open. But is it any good? Here come the benchmarks. One thing up front, every number you're about to see comes from Poolside's own benchmark charts, so let's read them carefully. On Terminal Bench, the closed frontier still leads. Sol, Kimi, and Fable near 88, but Laguna lands right here, above open giants like DeepSeek and Inkling. Look at that matchup. Laguna at 118 billion parameters edges out DeepSeek's V4, a model with more than 10 times as many. And on SWE-Bench Multilingual, it's even stronger, second only to Claude Fable, and ahead of every open rival in the field. Here's the chart straight from Poolside's launch post. They're measured scores across the coding suites, all in one place. Poolside also showed it building real things. In one 50-minute session, it wrote a working rendering engine from scratch across 181 steps. Now the honest part, because no launch chart ever tells the whole story. It's not a clean sweep. On DeepSWE and Toolathlon, it falls well behind the leaders. Agentic tool use is still a genuine weak spot. And about those charts, Poolside used each rival's best reported score and ran its own harness on one of the tests, worth flagging. Poolside is honest about the rough edges too. It can overfit to tool formats, it trips on nested JSON tool calls, and it sometimes overthinks hard math. So the fair headline isn't that it beats everything, it's this: the best open coding model in its weight class. By a wide margin. So who is Laguna S 2.1 actually for? It's for you if you want a strong coding model you can self-host and run offline for free. Less so if you only ever need the very top score. Getting it is easy. Pull it in Ollama, then point OpenCode at your local endpoint, exactly like any other local agent setup. One tip, its thinking mode, called max, is what earns the top scores. On, it hits 70 on Terminal Bench. Off, 60. Turn it on for hard tasks. Zoom out, and the story is simple. Open weights just got a lot more capable per gigabyte of hardware you own. To recap, 118 billion parameters, 8 active, 1 million tokens of context, the top open model in its class, all under an open license. If you found this useful, subscribe. I break down the new open models and how to actually run them yourself. What should I test on Laguna next?